Carey Mulligan has had an astounding career. She shines in beloved films like Pride and Prejudice, Drive, and Inside Llewyn Davis, and has taken on the works of great playwrights like Chekhov and Molière from the West End to Broadway. But she first held her own and earned her first Oscar nomination for An Education, a film based on the shocking memoir of journalist Lynn Barber. Mulligan stars as Jenny, a 16-year-old girl with a love of music and French in 1960s London. Jenny has all the markings of a teen of her time. She's relatively sheltered and is becoming increasingly aware of it. She sneaks cigarettes with friends to feel rebellious, but for the most part is bright and obedient. Her only struggles are Latin and pleasing her uptight and overly severe father, Jack. She meets David when he offers her a ride to protect her beloved cello from a sudden downpour. David, very clearly in his 30s, immediately pursues a relationship with Jenny. The film doesn't simply wring its hands about the nature of power imbalances and grooming. It shows the culture of restriction and emotional neglect that makes Jenny susceptible to it all. Almost entirely from Jenny's point of view, An Education explores the hope and possibility of a teenager's future when adults try desperately to shape it for themselves. An Education sets itself apart from other stories about teens groomed and seduced in that Jenny is as typical as she is extraordinary. Jenny's home life isn't gratuitously awful. Instead, it's realistically mundane, peppered with a common kind of emotional neglect. Her father calculates every cent he spends on her education, music lessons, and a Latin tutor. He openly resents anything she does for pleasure, and even wants to limit how many orchestra concerts she performs in. It doesn't matter if she loves it. He is obsessed with Jenny getting into Oxford as a point of status, a bridge to a good career, or, ideally, a good marriage. Jenny's desire to go to Oxford is inspired by her genuine passion for languages and literature. Even where they agree, there is tension, and the kind of parenting that makes Jenny feel restricted, unheard, and unseen. And so David positions himself less as a suitor or even a friend. David presents himself as an opportunity. For Jenny, that opportunity is freedom, a slight rebellion, and, of course, the more sophisticated flirtation that an adult with grown-up tastes and grown-up money can provide. Wanting the best for their daughter, Jack and Jenny's mother Marjorie easily buys into it. When he lies that he graduated from Oxford himself and has connections over a bottle of wine, Jenny's parents are entirely taken in. Alongside Jenny and her parents, the film allows you to be sucked into the charm of David and his friends, Danny, a sharper, blunter business associate, and Helen, a beauty who ricochets between arrested development and a decidedly adult submission to her circumstances. Danny and Helen mirror the dynamic between Jenny's parents. In her home life and her social life, Jenny is pressed between David and the domestic dynamics she's desperate to escape. It only fuels Jenny's feeling that it's now or never to make her life meaningful, which causes her to cling tightly to David's supposed sophistication. Where leniency is denied to Jenny for normal teenage girl activities, such as taking an afternoon to listen to records or spending